Part 43. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 425. After a rest night, tonight can be said to be their most relaxing night. The troops outside were still working non-stop, mainly cleaning the battlefield and other activities, while Bayou also went to see the situation inside the world government. That was really luxurious. It not only made Bayou sigh, how luxurious it was for these people to work in such a place every day. Thinking about Lifa's previous home, not only was she filled with emotion, but these Dracos were really disgusting. At this time, there were still Tianlong people who were tied up in the prison car outside. These were all captured from those high-end apartments. Of course, the White Navy and the Revolutionary Army would not arrest people casually. These people were previously controlled by the Revolutionary Army. The Revolutionary Army will take action only if the intelligence provided by them all contains definite crimes. Those who were so boastful that the celestial dragons thought they had preferential treatment as celestial dragons, clamoring everywhere that they were the so-called gods, their masters, and so on. However, no one wants to do this anymore. Instead, countless fruits, vegetables, eggs and other things are thrown at them. When one person does this, there will be a second one, and over time there will be more and more. Bayou was very pleased to see this scene. These are the results they have achieved and what they have done for these people. He hopes that the government they establish in the future can truly serve the people. Boss, how's it going? We're doing okay. Zifa came to Bayou at this time and said. Well, yes, keep going. I hope that the White Navy in the future can continue to do practical things for the people and not do the same thing as the Tianlong people. Can it be done? Bayou looked at Zifa and said seriously. Seeing Bayou's expression, Zifa dared to smile playfully, and immediately he became serious. Can do it? Great, go for it. After sending Zifa away, Bayou took Bai Xing and Robin to Lifa's home. At this time, there was no one in Lifa's home, which made Bayou very strange. You know, now that the Great Liberation, like they can go, where is it? The next second, Bayou thought of a possibility. I heard Zifa say that there will be a fireworks show tonight to celebrate the victory. Come on, I know where Lifa is. The streets are extremely lively at this time. This is the first time for the civilians here to see this kind of fireworks. You must know that originally they could only stay in the slums, and only the so-called noble Tianlong people can watch this kind of thing. If they were caught peeking, they would probably lose their lives, so they never dared to peek. Seeing such beautiful fireworks, Lifa's tears flowed out of her eyes unconsciously. It was the first time in her life that she felt such a free air. At that moment, she thought of Bayou, but she knew that everything was just as Bayou said, and Bayou also fulfilled her promise. But she didn't know what to do now. Where did you go to find Bayou? Brother Bayou said that he would come to me after liberation. Why hasn't he come yet? Has she forgotten me? Lefa was still thinking about her little thoughts at this time. But the next second, someone patted her shoulder. Turning her head, a huge lollipop appeared in front of her. Lifa, does it look good? This is for you. The one holding the candy is Bai Xing. The first time she saw the candy, Lifa jumped up, not because she was happy to see the candy, but because she saw Bai Xing holding the candy. If Bai Xing is there, Bayou must be there. Sure enough, Bayou behind him also came out at this moment. He touched Lifa's little head and said, Lifa, how are you doing? Does it look good? What I promised you has been completed. Well, thank you, brother Bayou. As he said this, he threw himself directly into Bayou's arms. Bayou was a little overwhelmed by this move. After a few days of rest, the Straw Hat Pirates have almost rested, and now it's time to enter the final island of Rafdrug. The weather was very good and cloudless. Bayou looked at the two ships in front of him and his companions behind him, feeling filled with emotion. Just when everyone was about to set off, a magical scene suddenly happened. A rainbow suddenly appeared on the bows of the two ships, and the rainbow seemed to be guiding them in the direction. Luo Bing looked at the rainbow and said, "Follow the trajectory of this rainbow. The end of this rainbow is the location of the final island, Rabdru. These are all the same as what is recorded on the stone tablet. Everything seems to be destined." Robin had to sigh at this moment, the power of the stone tablet. "Let's set off towards the final island." Luffy was extremely excited at this time. Sitting on the lion's head, he was still like that, holding a big meaty leg in his hand, dancing and making strange movements. And Nami was also very excited at this time. You must know that according to legend, in the ultimate there are endless treasures on the island, and treasures are what she wants most. Although she has experienced a lot along the way, treasures are indeed one of her hobbies. At this time, Baiyu is also very curious about what will happen in the end. What exactly is the island like, and what big secret is hidden in it? It seems that the distance to the rainbow is very short, but the boat is not as short as it seems when driving. It continued until midnight, and there were no islands on the sea. The ship. The rainbow disappeared. Everyone was stunned because there was no so-called island at all, not even the seagulls. Is this really here? Why isn't there anything like this? Luffy was confused now. This was completely different from what he thought. Just when everyone was confused, the next second, not far ahead, the previous rainbow appeared again, but this time the rainbow was not forward extension, but appeared directly in front of everyone, and then a magical scene happened. An island appeared out of thin air. And the rainbow happened to be just above the island. Even in the evening, the island was still extremely bright. The ship ashore. The crew members were extremely excited at this time, and after landing on the island, patches of golden light shone on them. To their surprise, the fruits on the trees here turned out to be devil fruits. This surprised Baiyu. It turns out that all devil fruits come from here, and the variety of devil fruits is dazzling. At this time, Nami is already holding sacks to pack the treasures. The treasures here are indeed extraordinary, even on the trees the leaves are all made of gold. And above it, there is a huge red stone tablet. Different from the previous stone tablet, this stone tablet looks more primitive. Robin looked at the words on it. It turns out that the celestial dragons in this world are actually the first batch of people who came to this island. As for the blank 100 years of history, actually recorded the entire process of the Tianlong people landing on the island, but later, the greed of the Tianlong people made the originally noble Tianlong people always help has fallen. And this fallen Tianlong will eventually be ended by a man holding the ice blade and the underworld blade and the descendant of the D family. Of course, Robin naturally knows that the former is Baiyu, and the latter is Luffy. It turns out that all the prophecies have come true. After this appearance, this magical island will sink again, and it may take another few hundred years before it comes to the world again. It turns out that the final island we are looking for is here. Luffy looked at the island and said. But now he has no regrets. I am determined to be the Pirate King. Now I am afraid no one in the sea will say that he is not the Pirate King. Even the world government has been conquered by him. Conquered, the final island has been landed, and everything is complete. Okay, I'm going to travel next time, everyone, Baiyu said while looking at everyone. When he came to this world, the wish of the strongest emperor's deputy has been fulfilled. Bai Haijun has also begun to remanage the world. It's time for him to retire after his achievements. This is my phone bug. If you want to find me, you can contact me directly. This is what Baiyu specially asked Lilum to build for him last night, so that everyone can keep in touch. After saying this, he took Bai Xing and Robin towards his weather light. Although he has been there were many places, but they were all purposeful before and had nothing to do with tourism. This time, he wanted to really let himself go. At this time, Lilum and Undine also followed. in their opinion, can no longer do without Bayou. As for others, they hope to continue to follow Luffy and others, and some want to join the New World government. Of course, all this is decided by themselves. Goodbye, brothers. Next time we meet, I hope you and I can be as happy as we are now. The clear sky sailed on the sea again. This time he had no goal, aimless, and stopped wherever he could. At this time, Bai Sing and Robin were leaning on Bayou's arms, looking at the sunset in the distance. Afterglow. Complete book.